Hey guys, this is Mistress Nightmare here, and today we'll be reading a new Jeff the Killer love story called In Love with the Killer, Chapter 1. Like I said before in the previous video, there's only 3 chapters in this story, so I'm so sorry. I haven't found the link to the story because I kind of put it in a Word doc so I could reread it again. I completely forgot getting the rest, and the author took down the stories to this, so yeah, sorry about that. Before we get started, please hit that like button, comment, subscribe to this channel if you guys want more creepypasta fanfictions out there. Until then, let's get started. I woke up from the ringing of the school bell. That meant that it was time to go home. Finally, I said exhaustedly. Anthony and Emily, my two most amazing and most important best friends, had came up to me and they had asked if I was walking home. I replied saying, yeah, you guys want to walk home with me? Anthony and Emily looked at each other and smiled and said, sure. We all walked home until the bully flipped my books. Oops, sorry, Medicine, for dropping your books. You're such a clumsy girl. Watch where you're going. Emily went up to her and said, prick on someone your own size, you ugly, two-timing slut. I held her back by saying, Emily, it's okay. Forget it about her. We'll deal with her later. The bully started laughing, and we had left us in the hallway. Anthony grabbed my books from the ground and gave them to me. I told Anthony, thank you so much, I said with a smile and hugged him. He replied saying, anything for my best friend. We all left, unsurprisingly, at once, and we started walking. I felt a presence. I didn't know who it was. Or maybe it was my paranoia, or something that someone was actually there. I looked around, and I saw no one. Must be my paranoia, I've asked myself. Anthony plugged in his music, and meant not to bother him while he was in his little crazy world. Emily asked if I was okay. I replied saying, yeah, I'm alright, no worries. Emily responds by saying, of course, I have to worry. You're my best friend, and I won't let anything, not even that two-timing slut, hurt you. I started blushing and said, "Aw, that's kind of sappy, Emily." Emily just smiled and hugged me. As I continued, you are always there. You'll have your ways to always put a certain smile on my face. Emily replied, saying, you know it already. We both started laughing. That's when I felt the presence again. The presence again. The one I felt earlier. It felt like someone was spying on me. I ignored it, and I continued walking home. Jeff's point of view. Her, that's the girl, Madison. I think that was her name was. She was out of this world. She was amazing. I can't take my eyes off her. She really is something. I think I may like this chick. She is really beautiful. I think I should meet her in person. But first of all, I think that girl who's bullying my amazing girl needs a little visit from me and my knife. Jeff thought as he entered the woods. Emily and Anthony and I returned to my house as we kicked back. It was there for a few hours. Eventually, they had to go home because they both had some errands to do. I told them to text me once they got home. They agreed and left my building. I was home alone. So I turned on the TV. I switched it on to the news as I watched it silently, and I focused on it very deeply. News reporter shows a picture of a girl who bullied me. This girl was found dead in her bedroom 2 hours ago. The killer has already killed over 22 females and 12 males. This killer is still at large. We don't know where he is, but please remember to lock your doors and windows. If the killer spots you, run and hide. Call the police immediately if he spots you. I turned off my TV and I heard my phone ring. My mom was calling me, but I didn't want to bother to pick it up. She had then left a voicemail saying that she wouldn't return home back for a few weeks. It had told me. She told me to lock the doors and windows and I can't go out at night. She also says to stay safe, that she loves me. That was the end of the voicemail. Great. I'm stuck here, alone, for a few more weeks, with nothing to do, I said, boredly. Well, I guess I could start texting Anthony and Emily. I started texting them for a few hours until they said they had to go. I texted them saying, all right, then, bye. My stomach growled, so I went up to get some grub. I cooked myself some macaroni and cheese ahead of I heard a knock on the door. I ran into the door and peeked inside the peephole. I saw a note and a rose on my door. And then the stranger with the white hood who left my building. I opened the door and saw no one. I grabbed the note and rose and closed the door quickly. I opened the envelope. It had 2 letters in it. I opened one picture of the girl that bullied me at school, dead in her bedroom. On her wall, spelled something with blood. I looked closely at it. It says, "No need to suffer anymore, Madison. I will always protect you." I was frightened by this, but I put it back in the envelope. I opened the letter, and it had a poem in it. So I read it. Your beauty is that of a million diamonds glittering in the sun, reflecting surfaces of its own rays of light, making it bright patterns. The angels gasped in the wake of your presence. You and yourself being in, I started blushing and went back to the note it had. It said, from your secret admirer to the girl of my dreams. I couldn't stop blushing, but I put the letter back in the envelope. I sniffed the rose. It had a significant, beautiful, delightful smell to it. I put the rose in a pot of soil to give it fresh water. I put my beautiful rose from my secret admirer that had given me in my room. Then I rushed into bed, put my earbuds on, turned on my music, and ate my food. I was getting really tired, so I turned off my phone and my music and went back to take the empty plates to the kitchen. I went into my room. I drifted off to sleep. I woke up to the sudden noise in my kitchen. I checked my clock and it read 12:30. I was scared to go down there, but I told myself to be brave. I grabbed the knife from my dresser and went along the stairs. I tiptoed quietly until I tripped on the last step. I was saved by a mysterious figure. It was holding me. I rubbed my eyes, and it was the guy wearing the white hood with black pants and had a pale face. I screamed, and he put a hand over my mouth. He told me not to scream, but I kept screaming either way. He pulled the knife and held it to my neck. I was so scared to death, so I stopped screaming. In my head, I told myself I was going to die. I haven't even said goodbye to my loved ones. I started crying, then the mysterious person carried me back to my room. He put me down in my bed, and I asked who he was. The mysterious male had said, I am Jeff, Jeff the killer. I remember that I have seen him before. It was the guy who was wanted by all those murders. Please, please don't kill me, I said, scared. Jeff just smiled and said, I will never hurt you. I thought to myself and said, why is there a killer here at this time? I mean, really, it's 12:30. 12:30 in the morning. What does he want from me? To be honest, I kind of find him cute for some reason, in a sort of freakish way. We stared at each other almost half an hour. It got awkward until he broke the silence. Jeff had said, Madison, I'm here, the one who left you that letter. I just looked at him, confused, and said, you? So that explains everything. I started blushing, and I knew he saw. I could have sworn he was also blushing. Jeff had said, Madison, there's something I wanted to ask you. I just looked at him and said, what is it? He stuttered with the words as he was saying that I couldn't hear him, but exactly what he was saying. He gave up, so he was going to ask me another time. He was climbing my window, and I looked at him and said, will I ever see you again? Jeff turned around and smiled, saying, of course, my beautiful. I'll stop by tomorrow. And then he left my building. I started blushing, and then I shook my head. I was thinking to myself, what the hell was I doing? Me, falling in love with a killer. A frigid killer. I don't know what to say or feel. Maybe these feelings will go away. Maybe I should go to get some rest now.